Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Cam Ward and today we're going to be breaking down a short commercial that we shot last year. I say commercial, but it's more like a little short film. It's a very fun little project. There's not too much to go into, so it'll be a brief video. It was low budget, very run and gun, and I think it was an interesting little project where we took a lot from it. I've learned a few things from it, and hopefully I can share some of those little tips and tricks we picked up along the way with you today. I feel like we should go in a bit closer for this. The initial concept is safe zones where all the different events are happening across the world. They are so-called safe zones. Budget was about £700. Camera-wise, we used the red Scarlet-W. I already own that camera, that's why we used it for this project. You could probably shoot this job, well, this kind of short film on pretty much any modern camera. It wouldn't have made too much difference. Talking about crew, very minimal run and gun crew. So most of our budget was spent on location, crew, getting a good makeup artist, getting a few extras in and keeping everyone fed and happy. Now, the client was Candy Pants Events. I've worked with them for a good couple of years now, and we like to do something a little bit crazy for Halloween, and building up that trust with a good client is when you can kind of execute on some of these more crazier, more out there ideas. I mean, before we get into it, just one last thing, and I think this is probably one of the most interesting takeaways for me. Don't close the video after I've said this. We shot this and it was a 60-second ad. Every 15 seconds was like another piece of the puzzle, another piece of the story, because the way they wanted to release this was one video per week leading up to Halloween. The way we built it was every 15 seconds would be a short story within itself. So one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this project as well is because we actually, when we turned up on location, like I said, we only had about 4 or 5 hours to shoot this. We'd done a shot list, but I just figured we'd shoot a very quick little previs, which is kind of like what the film would look like in a very rough form. So here's a very ridiculously bad, just crappy previs we used to help us out on the shoot. So got Henry walking down the hallway. We weren't taking this seriously at all, but having a previs is fantastic to help you visualize, shot by shot. It's great for not only you as a director or a cinematographer, it's great for the rest of the crew to understand what you're trying to achieve here. And especially for the actors, I think that they find it useful because it obviously gives them some ideas of blocking and what they should be doing. Not so much with Henry sticking his head out the door here, but it gives you a general gist. And we used it a lot when shooting, just to reference back and forward. So I'm going to just play this from the top and play the final version here side by side. And you'll see just how much they actually match up. Even though it's ridiculous. So you see here how we broke it down to part 1, part 2. This only needs to be very rough. There we go. And look, we're making a bloody zombie film here, so it can be fun. Just have fun on set. Do you know what I mean? We're all here just to make stuff. It's kind of crazy that this is a job. You'll see that we're actually shooting in a music studio and a recording. They teach music and stuff here basically, but we had to just shoot around that a little bit. But it's all good. I think, I make a little appearance here. There he is. Bad haircut. Terrible haircut. There it is, Finn. It's like a bad student film. Let's get into it. Let's take it from the top. Right, we'll just pause it here. So what we did is on this intro sequence is we basically had the aperture 120D on the lightning effect setting. And that was just flashing in from a side angle just to illuminate our soldier. The torch here, we just use that as just a bit of color contrast and just add a little bit more interest into the shot without it being all blue and washed out. Again, we just did shot, reverse shot. We only had one light for this shoot, so we just, when you cut them together, it all looks seamless. And then we turned off the lights here and just had that torch over the zombie's face. We were going for a Resident Evil 1 vibe with mysterious, super dark, scary, when you first see the zombie in Resident Evil 1, that's kind of what we were going for here. That was the reference that I used. So 15 seconds there, or 14 seconds. He's seen the zombie, we know what the threat is, and they're coming for him. And his shot has alerted the horde. That is our first 15 seconds. I know the visual effects aren't incredible, but my background is when I was 16, I used to make action short films and I knew a little bit about visual effects, you know. So I'm not amazing. I know they're not incredible, but this is the kind of stuff that I enjoy doing, action stuff, and this was just a good way for me to do a little bit more of that. So keeping going, we've got the zombies charging up the stairs. I love this. When they come running through the doors, we did a little speed ramping effect. Yeah, so when the zombies charged through the doors, we were basically cutting out a few frames here and there just to make the actions look a little bit more jumpy and a bit more aggressive. Just anything to dial up that intensity a little bit more. Okay, pro tip here. So you just got inside through the door. Smoke machines are essential. You want to, or a hazer, they just add a little bit of atmosphere and just give it that kind of cinematic, just kind of gives it a little bit of a pop, brings everything to life a little bit, adds a bit of ambience, you know. So once he gets into the room, pulls out the phone and he sees the safe zone. You know, this is just comped in After Effects, a little sequence that I built. Dead simple stuff, but this is kind of our marketing angle. This is where we actually had to put some of the client advertising in there. So she breaks through the door, really like this bit. Yeah, there we go. And he shoots her. And that is our... So basically, once he slammed the door, that was our second 15-second chunk. And this whole sequence here, where he's got the phone, zombie breaks in, that is our third 15-second chunk. So he's escaped the horde, he's got to the safe room, we're doing a bit of advertising, and kills a zombie. And then we're into our last stretch here when he jumps out. He's coming down the hallway, he's pushing out, he's trying to escape. And obviously we're reusing people here a little bit, but yeah, this is kind of like his last stand. All out bullets and a couple ammo. That's it. Who knows what happened to him? Did he survive? Probably not. And yeah, I mean, like I said, very simple shoot, very simple story. So when he's pushing down the hallway, you might be able to see there's a bit of an anamorphic flare going on there. And that's because we used the Sigma 18-35 with the anamorphic adapter. It's just a little thing that slots in on there. And it gives you an anamorphic effect, but I've kind of taken it off because it's not right for all jobs, and it also doesn't work too well on the Blackmagic Pocket 4K because of the crop factor, especially not with the speed booster here. So if you do want an anamorphic look, I believe it's called Anamorphic, that was really good. It costs about $40, but yeah, pretty cool effect. Now, we were able to do this shoot at a slightly lower budget because we had a lot of the outfits and costumes already, such as the SWAT army military outfits. Again, that just comes back to me being 16 and shooting these little action films. And I think one of the key takeaways here, just before we wrap up, is that just go and shoot content. If you're interested in being a filmmaker or a creative, you know, you can pick up like a full military outfit, like even a SWAT outfit. You could pick it up for like 50 to 100 pounds, and then you've got a character design that looks cool. So this stuff can be done on a budget and you can use it later on. You just never know when stuff that you have shot in the past or for whatever reason will come in handy down the line, especially to show to clients, because pitching an idea such as this one to my client, it was great for me to show them some of the older action stuff, even though I find it a bit cringy now. It was great to show them that content just to prove that I could do it. So just go and shoot content and build up a show reel of and a vast catalogue of different content. I think that's so important. But anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. If you find it useful, please be sure to hit like and subscribe. I've done other breakdowns like this one before of music videos and stuff. If you have any questions, I know I kind of only don't know if I scratched the surface. I didn't really go into the visual effects side. If you have any questions, want to know anything, just let me know and I will get back to you in the comments. Follow me on Instagram at CamWardFilm, and yeah, message me on there if you do want to know anything. But yeah, that's kind of it. I'll catch you in the next one.